What's up, my Central Unit? It's the Sentiment here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. So we're in February, so the month of February, I'm going to review some classic No Way Out shows / Elimination Chamber shows. Anyway, so today I'm reviewing No Way Out 2003 at the Bell Centre in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. On the 23rd of February 2003, the attendance of the show was 15,100. No Way Out 2003 received about 450,000 pay-per-view buys, a slight downgrade than the previous year's No Way Out buy rate, that's from 2002, the previous year. They received about 575,000 pay-per-view buys, that's known for the debut / return of Hogan, Hall and Nash, the debut of the NWO, first time Hogan, Hall and Nash returned to the company after years because they were feuding with the company, the Monday Night Wars between the WWF and WCW. And also, in the main event, you had Chris Jericho retain the undisputed WWF Championship against Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was the final pay-per-view before WrestleMania 18, and that was the final No Way Out show of the WWF name. No Way Out 2003 is the first No Way Out show of the WWE name, because they changed name the previous year in 2002, and also this is the first No Way Out show since the start of the brand split. This show is memorable for like three things. One, it's known for the Rock Hogan 2 rematch. That's in the main event. We'll get to the main event later on in this review. 2, we got the return of a rattlesnake. We'll get to the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin later on in this review. And also 3, this is the first pay-per-view in Montreal since Survivor Series of 1997. That's known for the Montreal Screwjob. You know what I mean. Montreal Screwjob, main event of Survivor Series 97. Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. Go and check out my review of Survivor Series 97 for more information. So yeah, it's the first pay-per-view for the company in Montreal since that Survivor Series 6 years earlier. Don't worry, folks, they're gonna find a way to shoehorn this in the main event anyway. So the commentators for the show. For Raw, we got Jerry the King Lawler and Jonathan Coachman. The coach, or Jonathan Coachman, he'll be soon become the coach. He is filling in for Jim Ross for the most of the show because Jim Ross is suffering a concussion. We'll get to more of that later on in this review. Anyway, for SmackDown, we got Michael Cole and Taz. So before we get to the first match of the show, quick result on Heat. So, a match on Heat, we got Rey Mysterio defeat Jamie Noble with Nadia in 4 minutes and 35 seconds. So, the first match to kick off No Way Out 2003, we got Chris Jericho taking on Jeff Hardy. Originally, it was supposed to be Chris Jericho versus Test, because on the Go Home Raw, Jericho accidentally hit Stacy Kibler in the face with the chair. So here's the reason why Jeff Hardy is filling in for Test. But yeah, the reason why Jeff Hardy is filling in for Test, sorry, I'm repeating myself, but Test got really not buried, but he got punished backstage because he missed the Go Home show to Raw, because him and Stacy Kibler completely missed their flight to go to the Go Home Raw, because I think the Raw was in Baltimore. So they got punished and they got removed from the card. So Jeff Hardy is filling in. So Jeff Hardy at this moment in time, he briefly turned heel, attacked RVD. Unfortunately, that not went anywhere. And also, Jeff Hardy was not on the state of mind in this match, in 2003, because you can tell, Jeff Hardy was getting he's got one foot out of the door. We'll get to more of that later on. So, anyway, he had like short hair, short long hair. It's the same look he'll probably had when he returned to TNA in 2010. And also his makeup is just like he's got red hairlines in his hair. It looks like he's got blood around his head. It's oh my god, it's the worst look for Jeff Hardy. Anyway, so the match was decent. It was a good opener. Not a 4-star classic, but if I rate this match, I'll give it 3 stars. It was a little boring, but I think they kind of pick up some speed. Jeff Hardy hit the Swanton Bomb onto Chris Jericho. Jericho got his foot on the ropes. And then he was going for it again. He hit Jericho with the reverse twist of fate. Going for another Swanton Bomb. Jericho got his knees up in the last second. And then he hit Hardy with the Lion Moonsault. In the end, he was going for like a hurricane off the top rope, but instead Jericho countered into a powerbomb, locked in the walls of Jericho onto Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy taps out, so Jericho got the victory. And then afterwards, he's still locking the submission hold onto Jeff Hardy. Out comes Shawn Michaels, out comes Christian. And, Shawn Michaels lay out both Jericho and Christian. That's just set up the Shawn Michaels Chris Jericho match at WrestleMania 19. And I've got to mention this is the final pay-per-view before WrestleMania 19. I'll review that next month, because next month is the 20th anniversary of that pay-per-view. So, and by the way, this is Jeff Hardy's final pay-per-view match in the company. I'll get to more of that later on. There's one segment I'm going to talk about later on. You have to wait and find out. So, anyway, it was a good opener to see Chris Jericho versus Jeff Hardy, even though there was no build to this, because, like I said, Jeff Hardy was filling in for Test because he got punished for not attending the Go Home Raw. So, moving on to the next match. So, the next match, this is first of 3 championship matches on the show. And this one is for the World Tag Team Championships. So we've got William Regal and Lance Storm, defending the World Tag Team Championships against Kane and RVD. I forgot to mention this when Shawn Michaels coming out to save Jeff Hardy. I think he's got a mixed bag, but I thought he's going to get like You Screw Brett chance, because he was part of that infamous match at Survivor Series. Locked in Bret Hart's own submission hold to made him tap out. I don't know he did the audio, because I watched the show on the network, by the way. They kind of messed it up a little bit, kind of changed the sound pitch of the show. I don't know if I think Shawn is the lucky one, never got You Screw Brett chance. He ended up getting the You Screw Brett chance. This was in 2005 when Shawn was a heel. Anyway, that's another story, another time. I forgot to mention that. So, anyway, let's get back to the second match on the show, the World Tag Team title match between William Regal and Lance Storm, taking on Kane versus RVD. Okay, match. The most notable moment of this match, Kane hit William Regal with the I think it was not a body slam, but a scoot slam, and William Regal suffered a concussion in this match. He looks lifeless. I thought oh my god, that was a serious moment, but he kind of recovered. Anyway, it was an okay match. It wasn't terrible. It was just a standard tag team match. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't oh my god, this is gonna be an instant classic. No, it was an okay match. If I give it a star rating, I give it probably 2 stars, or I'd say 2.5 stars, because Regal he suffered a concussion. Anyway, so in the end, I think it was Lance Storm kind of move Kane's mask. He didn't take off the mask, but he kind of moved Kane's mask, so Kane can't see. He thought he chokeslam Regal or Storm, but instead he accidentally chokeslam his own tag team partner, Rob Van Dam, and Regal pins. I think it was Regal or Storm pins Rob Van Dam to win this match. So Regal and Lance Storm won this match and retained the World Tag Team Championship. So, anyway, I forgot to mention this. I think they got booed. Regal and Lance Storm, including Lance Storm, and Jericho got booed because they're both from Canada. Even though Jericho was born in New York City, but he kind of grew up in Canada. But really, I know it's this is Bizarro World, booing the baby faces and cheering on the heels, but then I don't know. I don't want to get into it. So anyway, this is William Regal's last pay-per-view match of 2003. Unfortunately, he is suffering a heart parasite. He picked up that parasite when the company toured in India. So he suffered that, like, I think he was like sweating. He got like his heart rate was fast. So yeah, he took some time off for the rest of 2003. So Chief Morley, that's the former Falfinus, carried the really filling in for Regal for the rest of the tag team title reign between him and Lance Storm, and then they end up dropping the tag team titles to Kane and RVD, and then it's just yeah. And I forgot to mention this. Like at the last month's pay per view at the Royal Rumble, Regal and Storm dropped the tag team titles to the Dudleys, and yeah, they end up winning the tag team titles back. Forgot to mention it. So let's move on to the next match. So the next match, this is the second of three championship matches on the show. We got Billy Kidman defending the Cruiserweight Championship against Matt Hardy with Shannon Moore in his corner. This is the part where Matt Hardy's doing the V1 gimmick. It was getting over really well. So the build up to this, Matt Hardy was dropping weight, losing weight for the Cruiserweight title match to get in the Cruiserweight division. It was a good match, a fun match to watch, Not a lot of chemistry because Kidman's a high flyer. Matt Hardy's not known for the high flying stuff. He does some high flying stuff. That's mostly his brother. He doesn't do it, He doesn't really do a lot of high flying stuff. He does like a move off the top rope, but he's not known for like the he's known for the risk taking, but not known for the high flying stuff. Anyway, so I think Kidman carried Matt Hardy to a passable match. Taz on commentary. He's basically saying some gay stuff. It will never fly in today's society, in today's pro wrestling landscape. He said like Matt Hardy was rubbing himself with nut butter to lose weight, and he loves BJ's banana juice. What the hell? I'm not getting into it. So anyway, I think Kidman was going. No, I think Matt Hardy hit the twist of fate onto Kidman, but Kidman kicked out. I think Kidman was going for the shooting star press, but instead Matt Hardy, got his knees up at the last minute. In the end, he managed to hit a super twist of fate off the top rope to win this match and win the Cruiserweight Championship. I think it's the first and only time he won it. Like, I think it was the right choice, the right call, because how Matt Hardy's gimmick was getting over at the time, the V1 thing. I like the computer tile, the computer entrance, with the download computer thing. That was kind of fun, cool to see. I think it was the right call for Matt Hardy to win the title belt. He's not known for his wrestling, even though he's an okay worker, he's known for his character, like V1, and also years later with Broken Matt, and also Big Money Matt, in TNA and AEW. So I think it was the right call to put the belt on Matt Hardy. He really had I think it was his one and only reign. Maybe no, he never won. It's shame he never won it ever again. I think he should have won more times. This is the one and only time. He had a lengthy run with the belt until dropping the belt to Rey Mysterio that year in June. That's the 3rd of June 2003. So he had February, March, April, May, June. So basically had a 5-month reign as Cruiserweight Champion. He's not known for his wrestling, but he's known for he's more for character. His character, whether it's V1, Broken, whatever. So I think it was the right call. So I forgot. Let's talk about this segment from earlier. I said this was Jeff Hardy's last pay-per-view match, and it is his last pay-per-view match. So before the Cruiserweight title match between Kidman and Matt Hardy, you had a competition between Matt and Jeff, So basically, he kind of berates Jeff. If you're not too busy with your own imagination, you probably he regrets of Jeff Hardy for not be part of his becoming a Matt follower or Hardy follower, whatever it's called. Matitude follower. That's it. Matitude follower of winning. He basically called him a loser. So Jeff Hardy slapped his brother Matt, and that was it. Didn't went no anywhere because still feud again in 2009. But because in 2002, the Hardys broke up for a few until 2006 because Matt going to SmackDown, Jeff on Raw, and then anyway, so like I said, it was Jeff Hardy's final pay-per-view match. Because he stayed in the company until the spring, but he's got personal problems. He had a drug problem. He was missing live events, so he got fired from the company because it refused to go to rehab. So he ended up going to the Indies, a cup of coffee in Ring of Honor, and also he had a run in TNA before going back to the WWE in 2006 to kick off his run in the main event scene, winning the WWE Championship once in 2008 and winning the World Heavyweight title twice in 2009 before leaving the company in 2009, and then he returned again in 2017. Anyway, moving on to the next match. So the next match, we got The Undertaker taking on The Big Show with Paul Heyman in the corner of The Big Show. So it happens in October after Undertaker had that epic Hell in the Cell match against Brock Lesnar at No Way Out in 2002. Another show I reviewed in the past. So SmackDown after No Way Out, not No Way Out, No Mercy. My apologies. So after Taker's epic match with Brock Lesnar at Hell in the Cell in at No Mercy 2002. He got attacked by the Big Show. Big Show threw Undertaker off the SmackDown stage. It's a way to ruin off the Undertaker. He was taking some time off, so yeah, Undertaker made his return at the Royal Rumble in the Royal Rumble match the previous month. So for weeks now, basically Big Show is playing mind games towards the Undertaker. He's not showing up. He's given the Undertaker like some apology, presents, and messages. You had the debut of Brian Kendrick. He was Spanky's called. You got the return of a cameo of Brother Love. That's Bruce Pritchard with Redface, and and there was a giant crate. You're teasing like it's Big Show inside the crate, but instead it was a dog. And then he had a surprise attack by the Big Show while Undertaker he managed to like get the puppy out of the ring. Instead it's not like Big Show attacked the Undertaker while he's holding the puppy. But anyway, so the match between the Big Show and the Undertaker, this sucked. It was boring. It was actually boring. It was 14 minutes long. I was falling asleep. Big Show, Undertaker never had any good chemistry. Undertaker, like, I think one more of the match, he kind of really made the Undertaker, that's not Undertaker, he made the Big Show passed out with I think it was a Dragon Sleeper. And then you got interference by the A-Train, that's formerly known as Albert, the future Tensai. Anyway, Undertaker hit like this patented dive onto both A-Train and Paul Heyman. In the end, Undertaker made the Big Show it didn't really made him tap out. He made the Big Show passed out with the triangle chokehold. That will be soon called the Hell's Gate, and Taker won. It just makes it. I don't know. I'll get more of that shortly. So after that, he's about to hit the Big Show with the chair, but instead out comes the A-Train, hit the Undertaker with the derailleur, and that set up the handicap match at WrestleMania 19. So it just makes the Undertaker had a one-sided wins against the Big Show at this show, No Way Out, and also at WrestleMania 19. It'd be more. I think it'd be much better if they had Big Show going over in this match against the Undertaker, and then Taker gets win back at WrestleMania. That's just me, but anyway, it was a bit boring to me. Don't worry, there's one match on this show. It's worse, but we have to wait until later on in this review. So, moving on to the next match. This is technically the match of the night. So this is a handicap match. This is a 3-on-2 handicap match. We've got Team Angle. That's at the time, the WWE Champion Kurt Angle, Shelton Benjamin, and Charlie Haas taking on Brock Lesnar and Chris Benoit. Originally, it was supposed to be a six-man tag team match. Team Angle versus Brock Lesnar, Chris Benoit, and Edge. But there's one segment on the show earlier. You had Edge got beaten down by Team Angle. It's the way to win off Edge because, like I said, he suffered a neck injury. He needs to get neck surgery. You won't see Edge again until 2004. I think it was the Raw after WrestleMania 20 that led to Edge becoming a main event player, become the first Money in the Bank winner, and becoming a multiple time world champion. Until his first retirement in 2011. Back to this match, it was really good. It was a bit boring, but it was a fun match to watch. It was a mixture of technical style wrestling and a little high flying spots going into it. Like I liked Angle and Benoit because they had good chemistry. Also, I liked their match from the previous month at the Royal Rumble. Angle defeat Chris Benoit to retain the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble, and also Brock Lesnar won the Royal Rumble match the previous month to face Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 19. Anyway, it was really fun to watch. You had a lot of numbers game catching up towards Lesnar and Benoit with Haas and Benjamin. So in the end, this is really good, and also a bit of a calmer into this. So Kurt was about to hit Brock with the WWE title belt. Benoit locked Charlie Haas with the crippled crossface. And also, they referenced the previous match at the previous pay-per-view, Benoit Angle. There was one spot when, Angle locked in the ankle lock onto Benoit, and Benoit countered into the crippled crossface. Like I said, Benoit and Angle had really good chemistry. Anyway, so, he made... Benoit locked in the crippled crossface onto Charlie Haas. Angle was about to hit Lesnar with the WWE title belt, but instead, Lesnar hit Angle with the F5, and Benoit made Charlie Haas tap out. So Benoit and Lesnar got the victory. And in this match, it really I say calmer because Angle suffered a neck injury in this match against Brock Lesnar when Lesnar hit the F5 onto Angle. I'll get to more in details when I review WrestleMania 19 in that match between Angle and Lesnar. But anyways, this was the start of the rivalry between Angle and Lesnar throughout 2003. And also, this is their first match they fight one-on-one. It was a match of the night for me. Really good. The SmackDown 6, even though Edge was out of the picture, you got like the workhorses on SmackDown at the time. You got Angle, you got Rey Mysterio, you got Lesnar and Benoit. They can really carry the blue brand of SmackDown at that time period. So moving on to Oh Boy. We got the rematch from Royal Rumble 2003. Holy shit. We got Triple H with Ric Flair in his corner defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Scott Steiner. Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. So, anyway, so at the Royal Rumble the previous month, Scott Steiner shit the bed. He was botching and got booed out of the building in Boston at the Royal Rumble the previous month. The first match was ending disqualification when Triple H hit Steiner in the gut with the sledgehammer. So Steiner got a second shot at the world title when he defeated Chris Jericho on Raw to get another shot at the world heavyweight title on the show. It's funny that I forgot to mention this. We're getting close. We've got one more week to go until Elimination Chamber 2023 because that show's also in Montreal. Forgot to mention that. Anyway, this is the start of the Evolution faction on Raw. You had on Raw the previous I think it was the Raw after the Rumble. You had Steiner facing Batista with Ric Flair in his corner. It was ending disqualification. You got like Orton, Batista, Triple H, Flair beating down Scott Steiner. This was the start of Evolution. it's based off, you could tell it's WWE's version of the Four Horsemen, and it's set. I like it more. I like Evolution more than Fortune in TNA years later. That was just a dollar store. Four Horsemen. No disrespect. With Evolution, it means something. It's like it's based on like the past, present, future. Like Triple H. He represent the present, the here and now. Ric Flair represent the past, and Batista and Randy Orton represent the future. So anyway, it's about this match. I'll keep it short and simple. This is a stinker. I don't know. I think it's worse than the match at the Royal Rumble. You could tell after Steiner's bad showing at the Rumble. You could tell that they're off the Scott Steiner wagon. He's not believable to dethrone Triple H to win the world title. Anyway, yeah, the people in Montreal, they were cheering for Triple H. This is Bizarro World, by the way. And similar what Steiner got booed in Boston, he got booed in Montreal. The booing out is he kind of booed him out of the building. Every time Scott Steiner has some offense, one more of the match, he was going for the leg of Triple H, they booed him. There was a lot of whistle blowing, similar to the first match at the Royal Rumble. It's just overbooked, a lot of Flair interference. I try to keep it short, simple. Another botch, one more of them. I think like there's one more of the match, I think Triple H was counting the Irish whip, but Steiner bumped into Triple H, then hit the suplex. Oh, it was basically a belly to belly suplex, and there were a lot of punches. Steiner was so exposed, Like I said, any momentum he got after his feud with Triple H is completely gone, finito. Anyway, so then you got members of Evolution coming out, you had Batista and Randy Orton, trying to get the job done, and also one more of the match, Triple H trying to get himself disqualified again, but instead Earl Hebner, stopped him. You had this moment between Triple H and Hebner pushing each other. Wow, Triple H and Hebner has really, they go through each other. Went through shit over the years. It's kind of funny. Every time they push each other. Hebner shout at Triple H, back Triple H in the corner. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so in the end, he Steiner kicked out the belt shot by Triple H, and this time he hit the pedigree onto Steiner to win this match and retain the World Heavyweight Championship. Yep, Steiner never got one sniff of the World Heavyweight titles, and even the main event scene ever again for the rest of his run. And also, I think he did. He wasn't briefly in the main event scene in TNA. That's another story for another time. But in WWE, never got a sniff of the world title belt and the main event scene ever again before he left the company in the following summer in 2004. And then he come back years later, be part of the Hall of Fame. Like I said, him and his brother Rick Y. Braun Baker, their son and nephew is in the company. He's the current NXT champion. So yeah, we got a bad match, and also we got the return of the Rattlesnake. So anyway, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin taking on Eric Bischoff, the Raw GM. So the previous summer in June, there was an advertised match. It was advertised Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Brock Lesnar in a qualifying match of the 2002 King of the Ring tournament. Unfortunately, it was rumors like he was going to want to feud with Eddie, but he really don't want to do the job to Brock Lesnar because there is no build, and also why you put Austin in a King of the Ring tournament because he won it in 1996. At this moment in time, he's the megastar. So basically, Austin walked out. He basically took his ball and went home. So they kind of buried Austin on TV. They moved on without him. So let's fast forward to the start of 2003. So Vince fired Eric Bischoff because he refused to give Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, a Raw contract, because this is the real life rivalry between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Eric Bischoff. We'll get to more of that shortly. So, and also Raw were not doing well in the ratings in kayfabe by SmackDown. he's doing poorly as Raw GM, so Vince fired Bischoff. Instead, JR came out of his commentary table, informed Vince that Austin will show up at No Way Out, so Vince restored Bischoff as the Raw GM. Then on the Go Home Raw, Bischoff was in the match against Jim Ross, and then he kind of placed a cinder block onto the head of Jim Ross, and he suffered a concussion after the attack by Eric Bischoff in that no DQ match on the Go Home Raw before this pay-per-view. And then also we got the return of Jim Ross, because the coach was filling in for the rest of the show. Anyway, so Jim Ross back on the commentary table for Raw, and reason why I say this is the real life rivalry between Eric Bischoff and Stone Cold Steve Austin. So it's going back in the 90s when Austin was in WCW. Bischoff was, Austin's boss. There's rumors. I never knew this. I know like the injuries. He injured his tricep in Japan. We'll get to that more of that shortly. So, Austin pitched their whole idea towards Bischoff because Austin was stunning Steve. This is before he became Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, Austin pitched the whole idea towards Bischoff because Hogan debuted to the company. He wants to becoming Hogan's family member. So Bischoff said to Austin it was a bad idea. Then when the company, I'm talking about WCW by the way, touring in Japan, Austin suffered a tricep injury and Bischoff fired him. He said Austin was not marketable, not believable, so he fired Austin. And then Austin did this parody on Bischoff when he was at ECW, when he's superstar Steve Austin. So, really hating each other. You don't really know at the time if Austin, that Austin's going to be not just a popular guy, not just for the WWE, but in professional wrestling history, But anyway, so before this match, Vince informed Bischoff and Chief Morley, that's Val Venis by the way, that's, if any interference, someone will get fired. Anyway, so Bischoff came out, there was Test in the back, there was a backstage segment. He was walking towards the ring, and I think Test says to Bischoff, you really need some luck. He was beaten sarcastically because, like I said, Test was not on the show because he got punished. Anyway, so Bischoff came to the ring, grabbed the mic, says he wants to give Austin a forfeit win. Out comes Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the fans were ballistic because Austin is a megastar. And this is not known for an instant classic because even though Bischoff is not a natural wrestler, he's an authority figure / personality. In WCW and then WWE and then years later in TNA. It's known for Austin's comeback, his first match since the previous year when he walked out of the company. So he just basically being the Jehovah's onto Bischoff. I feel one more of the match he kind of throw orange juice in the face of Bischoff. He hit not one, not two, but 3 Stone Cold Stunners onto Bischoff to win this match. This is the beginning of really still the continuation of the rivalry between Bischoff and Austin, because later on in the year, this was after Austin retired, they end up becoming the co-Raw GMs, and then, leading up to the Team Austin, Team Bischoff match at Survivor Series that year, and then, and that was the end of the rivalry between Bischoff and Austin. So, anyway, nothing special, it's just the way to see Austin, getting the win, the guy who really fired him, shot him down like he's not going to be a main star, when he was in WCW. It was good. It was, by the way, it was Austin's second to last match before his first retirement. His last match was against The Rock at WrestleMania 19. And speaking of The Rock, so moving on to the main event. This is the rematch from WrestleMania 18. Rock Hogan 2, the main event. So at this moment in time, the first match, Hogan and Rock was at WrestleMania at the Toronto Sky Dome. Rock was the babyface, Hogan was the heel. He was Hollywood Hulk Hogan with black and white. This time around, the roles has been reversed. You got Rock as the heel now, and Hogan as the babyface. This time is the red and yellow Hulk Hogan. So anyway, Rock he basically got pissed off. Hogan says in one of his promos, Hogan called The Rock a rocket jabroni, and they did shake hands, and Rock spit in Hogan's face, frustrating turning heel, and then Rock become Hollywood Rock. Rock, man, Hollywood Rock is very underrated, man. So he was entertaining. It's a shame he never do it right now. He should. I think they missed an opportunity with that Hollywood Rock character. When he came back in 2011. If he did it right now, I think it'll be super popular because at this time his movie career was not like right now. Right now The Rock is like the biggest draw in Hollywood, but back then he was starting out as an actor. But yeah, it was really good. There's one episode of SmackDown. He was pretending he's on the phone to somebody, and he's saying like he's called the fans in Indiana Hicks. No, I mean hickory trees. I kind of laughed my ass off. Go and check out. It's really funny. Rock is just very entertaining, not just as a babyface, but as a heel. With its heel Rock, whether it's in 19 when he was part of the Nation of Domination in like 97, 98, or even though. Or the when he was the corporate champion, in '99, or his heel, or the Hollywood Rock stuff in 2003. He's just very underrated as a heel. Mostly he's a babyface. He can get over as a babyface and a heel. Anyway, so this match, it's not on the same level as their WrestleMania 18 match, but besides that, it was a fun match to watch. It wasn't really going to be like, if I give this match, I give it 3 stars, 3.5 stars. It was a fun match to watch. It was enjoyable. Like one more of the match, Rock was wearing Hogan's bandana. They're whipping each other with Hogan's weightlifting belt. Anyway, so I think not Rock. Hogan kicked out of. I think he kicked out the the people's elbow. I don't know what you call at this moment in time because Rock is a heel. He doesn't like the people anymore. I call it the I love him myself elbow because he despises his fans, the people. Anyway, so Hogan hulked up, hit the big boot. He was going for the hit Rock with the leg drop, and then suddenly the lights comes out. Out comes Smith McMahon, and fans. The fans in Montreal chanting "You screw Brett" was Vince. Anyway, you got someone got laid out after the lights gone out, and it was the referee gone out. And by the way, this is the pay-per-view appearance, or the pay-per-view debut appearance of Sylvain Grenier. We'll get to more of that shortly. So anyway, Grenier kind of throw the Rock the chair, hit Hogan. Rock hit Hogan with sorry. Speaking too fast, by the way. Anyway, so Grenier throw the Rock the chair. Rock hit the chair onto Hogan on the head, and then I think he hit another. I think he hit a people's elbow or something, or Rock bomb. I don't remember. So anyway, so Rock pins Hogan and won this match. So Rock is 2-0 against Hulk Hogan. Because he won the first match at WrestleMania 18. Now won the rematch on the show. Anyway, so Sylvain Grenier remained as a referee. Then he ended up being part of La Resistance with Rene Dupree. Then he was a single star. Then he left the company around 2006. Anyway, I understand why they done this finish when the lights gone out, referee self-proclaimed got attacked. Like I said, the show is in Montreal. I'm glad they never done this Montreal Screwjob reenactment. Like one more of the match, Rock locked Hogan with the sharpshooter. I'm glad they never done that. Rock locking Hogan with the sharpshooter, then Vince calling for the bell. That's fucking stupid. It's play out. They always do that over the years. Beating the fans over the head with the Montreal Screwjob. Come on now, it's stupid, man. But anyway, I'm glad they never done that, man. It's I'm glad it's something different for the change. This is the first of many times they end up doing it. The first one was okay because it wasn't a work, or it was mostly a shoot. Taking the title belt away from Brett, and then the following year they did it as a work. In the Deadly Games tournament between Rock and Mankind at Survivor Series '98, Then WCW ended up doing it, this is outside of WWE, like it was at Starrcade 99, Bret and Goldberg, and then WWE keep doing this over the next few years, great example, Undertaker, CM Punk, Breaking Point '09, another show in Montreal. Anyway, I think the last time WWE also do another Montreal Screwjob reenactment was in 2016. It was the match, I think it was at Payback or Extreme Rules between Charlotte Flair and Natalia. I don't want to get into that. So, and also TNA end up also doing another Montreal Screwjob. It was on an episode of Impact. This was after, I think it was after Genesis. It was AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle. They call it the Orlando Screwjob. That was also fucking stupid because Vince Russo, Vince Russo. Over the years, wrestling companies end up like beating the fans over the head with the Montreal Screwjob. It's annoying now. I hope this year at Elimination Chamber 2023, because the show is in Montreal, please don't do another Montreal Screwjob, man. It's overdone. It's annoying. Move on. The first time was shocking. After that, no. At least this finish between Rock and Hogan, it was creative. It's something different. But anyway, so afterwards, this is more. It was nothing special. It's just set up Hogan and Vince at WrestleMania 19. Rock went on to face Stone Cold Steve Austin at that same year's WrestleMania. That was Austin's last match before retired as a full-time wrestler. So anyway, my final reign for No Way Out 2003. Overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. This was a fun show to watch. Not a must-see show. It was a slight thumbs up for me. Like, the two matches in the bad for me has to be Undertaker versus Big Show. That was boring. Plus that stinker of that Royal Rumble rematch between Triple H and Scott Steiner. That was Steiner's last match in the main event scene in WWE in his second run in the company. In the okay, I'm leaving out the Austin Bischoff, match. It was okay for what it is, but, I put the Austin return in the good because it didn't do nothing for me. It's just Austin's return. The only match in the okay for me, say me, but the only match in the okay is the World Tag Team title match, Storm and Regal versus Kane and RVD. That was known for, like, Regal's concussion. The good is the good, not a full. Most of them not bangers, but they're like fun, good to great good fun matches to watch. The opener, Jeff Hardy versus Chris Jericho. The cruiserweight title match between Billy Kidman versus Matt Hardy. The return of Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was a return. He got that really good pop. The match of the night for me has to be the 3-on-2 handicap match between Team Angle versus Lesnar and Benoit. Rock and Hogan 2, it did not live the hype, but it was a fun match to watch, it was just set up like Hogan and Vince at WrestleMania 19. So anyway, I suggest watching the show for like the handicap match. You could say Rock and Hogan, the cruiserweight title match, and also Hardy and Jericho, even though it's just setting up Jericho and Michaels at WrestleMania 19. So anyway, so hope you enjoyed my review of not WrestleMania. My apologies. It's getting a little late. Not late, but by the time this review is recorded, it's Friday. But anyway, hope you enjoyed my review of No Way Out 2003. Leave your thoughts and comments section below. Smash the like button. What's your thoughts? Smash the like, click the bell, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time, staying in February, we're staying into the 2000s. Almost thinking, I was about to do another poll. What classic WWE pay-per-view you want me to review? It got me thinking because, like, when I done and review Royal Rumble 1998, when I talked about the casket match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, I brought up the No Way Out 2007 match. This was Taker and Shawn's first match together since that casket match at the Rumble of 1998. So it got me thinking, let's review that. It was also the last brand only pay-per-view of the first brand split. And also you got Little Boogeyman versus the Little Bastard. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about No Way Out 2007. That's the next classic WWE pay-per-view to review. So this is Ascension Man officially